the loyalty you feel towards your company doesn't go both ways.
Today's going to be your last day of employment. And then I was like, what?
We need people who need this job.
I'm Raymond Cowell.
Hey, I'm Steve Roll.
I took a $40K pay cut to come back here. You could be let go at any moment.
Yeah. Well, let me ask you this question. It's perfectly acceptable then for 75% of employees to be looking for a new job. Why should an employee be loyal to an employer in 2026? So I heard this quote, 75% of people that work for companies, this is like all of the US, 75% of them are either thinking about or actively looking for a new job. 75%. When I say that to employers, they're really surprised to hear it.
That's weird.
But when I say it to employees, they're like, yeah.
As an employee, I can say I'm one of the 75, and it's probably higher, especially in like today or whatever, because it's like nowhere safe, dude. And because like my company, right, just out of nowhere, they just laid off 30,000 people.
Yeah.
Right. And then you look at that as far as the people they laid off, they're pretty important people. You know what I mean? As far as what you're looking at. And like we talked about the other week when it happened, and I told you I felt like I survived a plane crash. I kind of had survivor's guilt.
It's wild that there's such a thing as survivor's guilt in huge Fortune 100 companies that are laying off tens of thousands of people on a Friday, just like that.
Yeah.
And I heard it continued more. Like more people got laid off afterward too. You lose a huge part of your workforce, and all of a sudden, it's just, to your point, these are not like unimportant people.
Yeah.
Why are you still here? Why are they gone? The company's shifting, but
it shows that you're not safe either, because it's like, and not to downplay what I do or whatever. I think what I do is important, right? But it just shows you that like you could be let go at any moment.
Yeah. Well, let me ask you this question, because if 75% of employees are thinking about or actively looking for a new job, what percentage of companies do you think are actively looking to replace their employees with somebody else or to get rid of their employees and replace them with, say, AI?
Yeah. It just seems like it's 100% of companies right now.
Yeah.
Would you agree?
I would agree with that. And then I would argue then that it's perfectly acceptable then for 75% of employees to be looking for a new job. But when you talk to employers about this, they go, the lack of loyalty that people have towards this like they expect the employee to be loyal to them when they're actively trying to replace that employee with
and that's
AI
the thing, dude.
Right
like,
now. It's a one-way street.
Like I want to be loyal, and I am loyal, right, to a point, right? I play for the team I'm on, right? But just knowing that team is gonna like, and really, you always know it, right? But when you actually experience it, the layoffs or whatever, eventually you start realizing that, you know what I mean? Because like some of the people there, it's like they were about to retire or, things like that, or they had been there for like one person was there since like the 90s. You know what I'm saying? Like, and it's like
you watch The Office?
Yeah, of course.
Okay, so you're a millennial. Of course you watch The Office.
Yeah.
What you just said reminded me of Dwight Schrute when he does a little monologue where he goes, "Oh, I'm very loyal. In fact, one of the things I think I'm being paid for here in this company is my loyalty."
Okay.
But if there was another company that valued that loyalty more, I'm going wherever they value loyalty the most.
I mean, and I mean, it is what it is, you know what I'm saying? Because we are...
Why should an employee be loyal to an employer in 2026?
I'm dumbfounded.
Don't worry, I'll wait. Is there a reasonable reason why people should be loyal to their employer? We don't have pensions anymore. Some employers are doing 401k matches, which is cool, but they're not doing anything over and above what other companies would do for you. So why are you supposed to be loyal? It's still socially acceptable to be loyal to a company. Like, oh, I'm doing the right thing, put my head down, and I'm going to wait for this person to get promoted so I can get that job.
I guess you want to be loyal, like, and like you want to be loyal and you want to, play the part right up, but just know in the back of your head that you're expendable. You know what I'm saying? And as far as like interviewing and applying and stuff, like you should always have that backup plan because if you don't, you'll just get caught up in the layoff, and then it's like, but I was loyal. You know what I mean? Like, what the fuck?
How could they do this to me? Okay.
And
But people
they
feel that way.
yeah.
They really feel like the company is like screwing them over when they were the perfect ideal employee.
Of course they would feel that
And it's
way,
of
right?
no fault of my own, and
Mhm.
I'm laid off in this. And
But some people, like, they're like one of our friends, right, that we talked to, that was actually caught up in that, right? Like, he was pretty, like, kind of, I get it. I kind of saw, they're pivoting towards AI and everything, and they need to
yeah,
free up money, and obviously this is a big cost for them, so but not everyone's like that, right?
yeah. But that's the mindset of someone that knows they have options, that knew
Hmm.
from day one, I'm getting this job. I could go to a million other places,
Yeah.
but I'm taking this one. And if I don't work here, I'm going to work somewhere else and be successful.
Hmm.
And I think that more people should have the mindset that this is a job, it's not the job.
Yeah.
And maybe not have the mindset of I'm defined by the company I work for and the role I have in that company, but
Mhm.
be more defined by, no, I'm working here now. If I decide to go somewhere else, I might. I got a lot of
Yeah.
options. I'm always interviewing. I love the people who are always interviewing to go somewhere else because they know that they have value,
Hmm.
and they understand that this is not where I'm going to be defined for the next 20 or 30 years. I just happen to be working here right now.
Yeah.
But the people who feel the opposite side of that, who are kind of like, well, yeah, well, who are you? I work for IBM.
Hmm.
But who are you? I'm a designer at IBM.
Yeah.
And that's their whole identity. That person gets laid off, sucked right into depression
Hmm.
because they don't know who they are without that job,
Yeah.
without that community. And they don't feel like they have all the options and to go out and just find another spot to go hunker down and say, well, if I don't have IBM, like who am I? I feel sad for those people.
Yeah, dude, like, I got fired from our old company, right? After I took a 40K pay cut to go back to that company, because there was a little bit of loyalty as far as, like, because I really did love that company, right?
Yeah.
When I was there in the beginning, right? And, because of reasons I left after COVID or whatever. But basically, and I was sort of like recruited to come back to it, right?
Yeah.
There's a
Why
part
did
of me.
you feel loyalty to the company?
Because I believed in what they did, and where I was at, right? I was getting paid really good. I had a six figure salary and all that, and I had a really nice office and a gas card and really good benefits and all that stuff. But I just part of it was being in office, right? And I worked for this dude that was just like, it was like working for like Saddam Hussein, dude. Just always like, what the fuck's that happened? But basically, I just wasn't happy, right, because of that. And then I just started thinking, I was like, when was I happy? Because it was a totally different industry too from what we did over at can I say the name, Orion?
Yeah, you can say it. You can say it. Okay.
Yeah.
We're not bashing. We're just throwing out our truth.
At Orion,
okay?
right? We recruited military. I'm a military veterans. I really when I first started working there, and I did a 6-year run there. I loved it there because it was like I was making good money, but I was also helping veterans out, right?
Yeah.
And getting them jobs and staying connected to that community and all that. And it gave me all those things, right? And then basically when I because I was climbing the corporate ladder, right? Because I was basically like director. I was their very first in-house recruiter. I was setting everything up, right? And then that was my whole goal. I was like, my next step is like, I want to be a director, right? And then kind of move up from there, or whatever. But then I just was so unhappy, dude. And I just thought of when was I happy before? And it was working with Orion with veterans and stuff. And I just wanted to get back into that. Right. So
you like the purpose of it.
Yeah.
And the reasons that you had loyalty to Orion was, well, let me say it this way. The reasons you had loyalty to the company was because you agreed with the company's mission.
Yeah.
Like the people that you worked with.
Mm-hmm.
Your boss wasn't overbearing.
Yeah.
It was an easy place for you to
and that was the thing too,
grow.
man. Like it was well, so the boss being overbearing thing, because that was another thing too. My first boss, or still the best boss I ever had.
Yeah.
I remember him telling me that, and that's how it used to be run, right? He was like, when I got my office, right? He's like, this office, this is your franchise. He's like, you do whatever the fuck you need to do. He's like, and he did, like, for the entire time I was there, never bothered me, didn't have metrics or any of that shit or whatever. And me, as far as kind of the type of person I am, because there are people that need metrics or whatever, they use those or whatever. But me, I like being creative and trying to figure out ways to kind of solve problems, right? Not specifically how you're telling me to do it, whatever science you figured out, how, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I had so much freedom to just do that, and I was really, really successful at doing it. And then so I was really hoping to go back to something like that as well. right? Because at the company I was at, right, that's what they pitched me, saying I was going to be doing, right?
Yeah.
And then it was like I got everything as far as the material side of things, right? But when the actual work environment, it was I remember going up to the ops manager and just going into his office because he was sort of like, because he knew who I was working for. Right?
Yeah.
And he's like, right, if you're ever like stressed out or anything, he's like, just come to me. He's like,
isn't it the worst when the HR knows
dude.
like this guy's really hard to work for.
And that was the thing too with that too. It was sort of like he was so entrenched in the business, right? Because he was an amazing electrician, right?
Yeah.
But as far as what I did with manpower and stuff, like he didn't know shit about it, but he was over me.
Yeah.
Right. And basically I just remember going up to the officer. I was like, hey man, we had talked a little bit more, but basically it was just like, is that what you guys want me to be? If this is, you guys want to pay me all this money to be his secretary or whatever.
Yes, yeah.
I was like, I thought I was coming in here and you guys are gonna let me be creative and do my own thing and kind of just figure things out for you guys or whatever. But since I've been here, it's literally, I just got put into this role to just be under him and just do whatever he wants to do. And it was like hurting us.
Yeah.
Because
you're making six figures, you're doing a job, working for a guy that you don't like, that you should not be underneath. And you decide to take a huge pay cut to go back to a company that you had loyalty to, that had a work environment that you enjoyed.
Yeah.
Is that just the easy way to sum it up right there?
Yeah. And my thing too, like because I thought about it really, I was like, yeah, I'm making this, but it was also commission based, right? Or you had the base plus commission, right? And
where you were going to go.
So and I was very confident in my skills as far as like, I was like, I can make up the difference or maybe even make more or whatever. Because I love that. That was another part that I missed was, being able to kind of control my paycheck or whatever, not just make the same thing over and over or whatever. But yeah, to sum it up, whatever. That's
but when you got back to the other company, were you successful on the commission side of getting more money out of it?
In the beginning, dude, like it was great, dude. Like because the guy I was under, he was similar to my first boss, right? Okay. And he also knew me too, like, because we had worked together even when I was there the first time. He knew who I was, right? And he started treating me like that, like with just freedom. Like the first like 3 months or whatever was just basically like, all right, like we'd have our one-on-ones and everything.
Yeah.
He's like, and it was just like, well, do you have any questions for me? Because he's like, I don't really have anything for you. You're doing good, or whatever.
But they say that people don't leave bad jobs; they leave bad bosses. Like you had a guy you came back to who was a good boss, and like ultimately it was an environment you could do better financially in too.
And I loved it, man, because it was back to what I was doing before. Even though I now, as far as like, because people chase status and titles and stuff like that. Yeah. To me, it was a big kind of hit to that, right? Where I was just a recruiter, but I was like, you know what? I'm happy again. You know what I mean? I'm doing what I like doing. I'm talking to veterans again. I'm making money doing that. Yeah. Or whatever. And everything was good. But then all of a sudden, that guy, right? Because he was a VP at the time, and just one day he has a meeting with us. He's like, "Hey guys," he's like, "I know I've sort of been managing the team, but he's like, I'm also a VP for the company and everything, and I really feel." And this is how he put it. He was like, "I feel that you guys really need like an actual good manager." And when I was sitting there, I was like, "No, we don't." You know what I'm saying?
Hold on,
because my thing in especially recruiting, dude, I'm like middle management to me is like it's when you're lean, dude, and there's just they just make it all bureaucratic and like, you know what I mean? And then it was supposed to be because my old boss, he actually pitched me to be the manager, right? Okay. Which I would have ran it like him, you know what I'm saying? Yeah. But unfortunately, I didn't get that or whatever. So then because it was that too. It was like, well, Ray, you just got back here and other people grinded it out when you left or whatever. And we don't want to, and I was like, that's fine, whatever. So then they bring in this new dude, right? Which I have nothing against. Great fucking person, man. All right. But
the great preface before all bad things are said
really is, man. Like
he's a great guy. Yeah. Great guy. Love him to death.
Christian dude, awesome. Fucking family guy. Like guy, no. I still like him and everything. And he wasn't even the reason. But basically he came in, right, and he had never really managed a team before, right? So he was doing it by the book, right? Yeah. Which meant metrics, right? And basically that's what it became was metrics, phone calls, fucking, how many people did you talk to? All that stuff to me. Cause like there are people that operate like that because I think that's what the problem is. You have people that can be kind of robotic like that, right? And just go there. Okay, I'm gonna make 50 calls a day, and that's all I'm gonna do. Right?
Yeah.
You know. But then you got it started making me question like what I started thinking. I was like, I have ADHD or something, like, because I really got into that. I was like, why am I so unhappy?
Yeah. Okay, but I want to go back on the loyalty piece a little bit, because I just think it's really interesting how the employers, almost through kindness, can like get their talons into you. So you got a good boss, you're making good money, you like the environment, you're willing to go back to it for less money. Like they know that they like you, that you're happy in that environment.
Yeah.
Part of that keeps you from deciding to go and start your own business doing that thing, right? Because in companies like that, I knew plenty of people who just decided like, fuck this, I'm gonna go do this for me.
Yeah.
Like, why would I do it inside the company? Well, part of it is kind of that culture, right? That keeps people in a mindset of, oh, well, this is nice. Like, I like this.
You're comfortable.
And you're loyal to the company that you believe is loyal to you or that you know isn't loyal to you. Where were you at in that zone when you were going back into a loyalty mindset? Did you believe the company was also extending loyalty back your direction? Or did you believe, I'm loyal to the company, I'm a pawn to them?
I mean,
go both ways.
In the beginning, in my little dream world, right? That it turned out to be, it was that, right?
But what did you think it was?
I thought that, what did I think? I thought that, again, I was loyal to the company, right? And basically they were really receptive to hearing me coming back, right? And they were paying me a lot more base salary wise than the other recruiters, so they're kind of throwing some respect there, right?
Yeah.
So yeah, I mean, and what I was told was they're trying to right the ship because they had a lot of leadership changes and everything that basically just turned them. They went from just this, when I was there, dude, like when the first run there, I'd go to job fairs or whatever, and I always felt like we were the best fucking company there. Like I felt there was like this cockiness or whatever.
Yeah.
Like, you know what I mean? And there'd be like Teslas, and I'd be talking to their recruiters or whatever. But honestly, I'd be like, yeah, I'm over here, but I think our job is way better than you guys. You know what I mean?
So you felt like the company was loyal to you.
Yeah.
And that it was being reciprocated.
What I felt was they were trying to get back to like that, right? And what I felt was, because that's what they said. They were like, we're trying to find the right people to bring, and that's what they told me, was like they felt like I was one of those people that they really wanted to bring to bring the company back to what it was. So it kind of played on that psychological ego part of it, where it's like, okay, cool, like I'm the fucking hero returning home.
That's right. But in the back of your mind, like I'm sure it had crossed your mind, I could just go leave this company and do this for me.
Yeah.
Like you thought about it, right? Thought about maybe teaming up with somebody else and doing
Steve.
it. It's hard, of course, but I just want to I want to understand the feeling of like, well, I know I can do that, but I don't want to screw over my company.
Yeah.
Like I'd like to start my own business, but also like I'm loyal to this company. They gave me my start. They taught me how to do this. I'm good at it.
Well,
I'm good at it
like you're saying though, like it's well, okay, so basically you're asking like why I wouldn't do it on my own or whatever.
Yeah.
Because like, some people want to be like, I don't necessarily, I would love to be a millionaire, right? But basically it's not really what drove me. It's just like I just want like comfort things. And like I was telling you before, like I had a lot of the monetary stuff and everything at the one company, but I wasn't happy. So again, it was sort of just like I just want to be comfortable, right? And as long as you're paying me, right, good, and and then I do, and to me, like what my first boss said, it's like, this is your. So I sort of thought like in that mindset, well, if I can't have my own business, at least I'm in a company where I can use their logo and everything, and sort of still have my own business. Because at the end of the day, I am still controlling my paycheck by how many people I get in and stuff. Which is, I love that aspect of it. That's what I love about commission, right? Is it's really on you, like, and it's not so much the politics of getting a raise and stuff like that. It's like it's really just on how you produce and everything, right?
Yeah.
So that's, as long as I was getting that and it was a good cut, like I was happy, right?
Sure.
Because like that was one of the reasons why I left before, was they were talking about getting rid of, because they had this fucking dude, right? It was COVID, right? And because they had this other team, right, they weren't really commission based or anything, but basically COVID happened, right? And remember that big where everyone was fucking hiring, and so somehow this dude got in charge, and then he basically had his team's model, right, which was just people being paid dirt cheap to be like a call center, right? And at the time too, you could have had just a bunch of monkeys on the phone, right? And they would have been making placements, dude.
Yeah.
And dude, and they were smashing records and stuff. And so basically it was like that. It was like, we don't have to pay these guys commission. We could just bring in anyone off the street, because that's what he was doing too, man.
Yeah.
It was almost like they didn't want veterans working at the company that's getting veterans companies, right?
Yeah.
Or
military people jobs. Yeah.
And and then so they switched to that, right? And they were one of the VPs, because I was still and whatever, we're still friends. Or I just remember he told me, because I was at his house, he's like, well, last year he was like, we were breaking all sorts of records, dude. He's like, this year, because then I'll remember all of a sudden the hire
people stopped hiring.
Yeah, he was like, this year he's like, we're still breaking records, just not the good ones. And I was like, oh shit. And and then he sort of told me that too. He's like, yeah, man. He's like, all the good people left. He's like, now he's like, the recruiters suck now, dude. Like they, and you got to be in the game to kind of know what a good recruiter is, right? But basically, it's like either you're a call center dude or you're someone that can build relationships and like get people, like, you know what I mean? Like,
yeah.
So basically, all those people were left, and they were left with that. And then it was like that kind of mindset too. Hearing that, so it was sort of like, oh, I can go back and fix the company, or I can bring them back to what they were.
It's so interesting when you and I worked at the same company, and when we worked there, I already had these two side businesses that I so I got the job, dude, because I had to buy a house. I needed a W-2 income.
I want to talk about how you left, which it upset me, dude.
okay, let's figure that piece too.
Yeah,
but I just think it's interesting that I had this different mindset, because I was already self-employed before that. I just couldn't get a mortgage for a house, so I thought, I'll go get a job, I'll get a W-2. If I like it, I'll stick around. If not, I'm gonna leave. But that mindset of knowing what was possible outside of my 9 to 5 gave me a very different perspective on what the job looked like.
Yeah.
And I remember the guy you worked for, who I loved to death too. I thought he was a great guy. He actually pulled me aside one day, and I walk into his office, and he goes, you know what the problem is with you, Steve? I'm like, I didn't know there was a problem, but what is the problem with me? He goes, in this job, we need people who need this job. And you don't need this job because you have all this income coming in from selling soap on the side.
Yeah.
I need people in this job that need this job. And that stayed with me.
Yeah.
Because it does speak to the loyalty people have towards the job, because they need the job. And if you're someone who's at a job that has any bullshit to put up with whatsoever at all, and you don't need the job, like, well, you could just quit. Well, I don't want to train someone who could just quit and leave tomorrow. Like, why would I do that as an employer? That's not a good deal for me. I need to make sure that you need this job. And once you're strapped to, I can do whatever I want with you and mold you into the best employee. I know you're going to be here. I'm going to get a return on that investment.
That's the code, right? That's cracking the code, is like figuring out, how do I not need this or whatever? Because like you're saying, once you don't need it, like you're sort of it can just be your hobby, and you can do it out of the goodness of your heart now.
Yes.
If you are a little bit loyal and you actually like the people and stuff, I'll do a good job here or whatever, but I don't need to, whatever. Like, as long as you guys are treating me good, because that was the thing with you, right? It was like all you asked for was to be hybrid. Right. A couple days working from home.
And don't forget, there was somebody else doing the exact same job I had. Who was 100% remote.
Oh my gosh. Yeah.
And I was selling more than him at the time.
No, and then that was the thing, because my thing, as far as when I was a recruiter, dude, it was always like, I was always wanting good AEs, because it was you guys bringing the business in, and we had a bunch of AEs, right? And it was like fucking, what do you call it? It was just a rotation, like always, like
revolving door.
Revolving door, dude. Like with the AEs or whatever. Like they'd come in there, and then they'd get beaten down by your boss. It was always funny, dude, seeing like the difference, because when I was working for my boss Jay, right? It was like we were all happy, dude, and then on the other side of the house was you guys working for your guy, whatever, super micromanager, all about call time and stuff like that.
Great guy, love the dad.
Again, he was an awesome guy, right?
Hard to work for. Hard to work for.
Very hard to work for. But basically, like it was just so, just the difference, because we were all happy and everyone over there was just all sad. And I remember one of the colleagues coming in, and then because he didn't know about like the recruiting side, right? And he came in my office like wanting to talk shit, and I was sort of just like, it's not that bad, dude. and then I was like, bro, I was like, I don't think you understand, man. I was like, I'm pretty sure I'm gonna retire from this place, dude. I was like, I like it here. Like, I was like, it sucks, like, what you guys going on over there, but but obviously all good things come to an end, and eventually, but
they do. And I would also argue, we talked about region beta paradox before on this podcast. It was better for me to have a boss that was harder to work for than for you to have a guy that was like, oh, I'm kind of my own franchise over here. He leaves me alone. He's a good manager. It was better for me because it forced me to leave. I couldn't, if I had options, I couldn't just be like, oh, it's not so bad. It was awful. Mm-hmm. It was awful. And so the first moment that I had my house, didn't need the W-2 payment anymore, and I could just go do my own businesses, I didn't try to run away from the business. Like, you remember, I came to my boss and said, hey, I just want to work 2 days a week from home. I'm sitting in traffic coming from North County, San Diego, down to downtown basically every single day. It takes me an hour to drive there, and I can't do my work while I'm on the road. Mm-hmm. I'm driving a Honda Civic, not a Tesla. So I got to like drive the car, and I can't do phone calls. I can't do anything. I'm just on the road. So I'm losing 2 hours a day. That's without really bad traffic. Mm-hmm. And so my ask was just, hey, 2 days a week, could I just not commute in and do my phone calls, which was my job? He said, I'm hiring you for your voice. Can I do my phone calls from home? And to his credit, he thought about it. And then he said, no.
Yeah.
But someone else is already doing that, and I'm selling more than he is. No,
it's like, it's so weird, like management or whatever, like the people on the field, we all obviously give Steve what the fuck he wants, dude. Cause like that's what I was trying to say, right? Was when you were there, I loved working with you, right? Because it was just like, okay, this dude is actually bringing in quality companies and giving me work, you know what I mean? And we need that because we have some dudes that are here just making 50 calls to fucking directories or some shit. Yeah. Like, you know what I mean? Or
and I did that too, by the way. But I will say this. Mm-hmm. You brought a company to a bunch of different account executives, SSD Alarm. Mm-hmm. I was like the fourth person that you gave it to, the fourth person you gave it to. But I ran it down because I was motivated. I'm hungry. I'm coming in like I want to make money in this business. I've been told I have no cap, all unlimited upside. Why not go and do it? For other people that didn't have the same motivation and mindset to me, like I don't understand that whatsoever at all. Yeah. Here's a recruiter that knows how to find people for this job who's saying, hey, they're hiring, like call this company. I'm like, whoa, I'm going to go make cold calls, people that don't want to hear from me. And you're telling me there's someone that might want to hear from me? Yeah. That's like 100% better than what I'm dealing with, just cold calling people. Of course I made that phone call. I don't know if we did any placements with that company, but I was motivated to do it. I was hungry for that. And a lot of the AEs there were not hungry. They had the book of business and they were content with it. They weren't really trying to grow unless it was going to get them an extra 50 or 100K a year on top of it. But I was hungry, man. I think they pushed out a really motivated person. I would have stayed there for a long time to my own detriment. And I'm glad it didn't work out, but I would have stayed there for a long time because it wouldn't have been bad enough for me. I get benefits, I get the health. I get to work from home 2 days a week.
That's where as far as loyalty, like whatever the word is, but basically it's, because there are people, right, that if you're not really contributing to the cause or whatever, it's like, whatever, get the hell out of here. No, you're not going to get fucking hybrid or whatever. Yeah. But there are certain people that are like you, right, or whatever business or whatever that are, and it's just like, just give them what they fucking want, dude. Because you know what I mean? And they're already showing that they're motivated and they'll do this from home or whatever.
I think there was a control element to it, though. Yeah. Of like, hey, we think you don't need this job. We need to show you that we're in control. And are you going to back out? Because like, what about your benefits? You're about to have a baby. Your healthcare is tied to this company, and we know that. I think it was really a test to see, was I going to fold on a little bit of pressure? Because once I told them, oh, I can't work from home. Okay, here's my 2 weeks notice. Guess what they came back to me with? Hey, if you want to go 100% remote, we'll let you do it.
Oh, really?
We'll let you do it. Oh, that was part of my last 2 weeks where Gino's saying to me, we don't lose your healthcare. We need you in the company.
All of a sudden, they were going to give you 100%
All of a sudden, it was a test to say, can we control you? And if we can't control you, we still want to retain you. We don't want to lose your book of business and have that walk out the door, or you're motivated to work here and there's good things happening.
But you're like, you don't understand. I was testing y'all too.
I was testing you. Okay?
And you guys failed my test.
2 weeks notice, I'm out of here, And of course, there's a certain element that feels like nice and powerful about that. But I remember my very first review in the company. The COO of the company came in, flew into San Diego from North Carolina. And I sat down with him for the first time. And I'd been there for 3 months, but I'd already brought some business to the table. Like we were working on some really great stuff that was going to move the company forward. And I remember him telling me in that meeting, this is the CEO of the company. It's me, the sales manager in the office, in the conference room. We're sitting there. And he goes, man, I'm really impressed with your first 90 days. And thank you. Like, I'm really happy. Thanks for the opportunity. I'm like the good soldier. I just come from training with him. So I had a bit of a rapport relationship with him. And he goes, I want you to know, I think you are the future of this company. I'm sitting there like, what? Like, I hardly know you.
Yeah.
It's 90 days in. I've made a few placements. I know I'm on the successful track.
Yeah.
I know they gave me that respect of the higher base pay coming in compared to other people. So I know that those things are there. Like, what do you mean I'm the future of the company? And he goes, that your mindset, your motivation, it's got like management written all over it. Like, you can be a VP in this company very quick. Like, it felt good to hear. That's a trap though, man.
Yeah.
Those were the talents of the company trying to come in and get me to be loyal to them when they had no intention of being loyal to me.
Or whatever.
Oh, they're giving me the carrot.
Yeah.
I'm going to say some nice things to you, tell you that you're the best thing that ever happened in this company. He might have said it to everybody else. It still felt good to hear the COO tell me that I'm the future of the company.
Yeah.
He may not have even meant it, but he said it. And those are the subtle things that these companies do, and they know that they're doing it. It's predatory, and it gets you to be loyal to them. But they know if you do one thing to step out of line, I'm getting rid of you.
Yeah.
Like, you aren't that important to the company, but I want you to know you're the future of the company. It's just nice words. Makes you feel good.
Yeah.
And that company has zero loyalty to you whatsoever at all. They might like you, but they can't be loyal to you. And that's what always happens to people.
Yeah.
When you get laid off, when you get fired, and you walk into your boss's office, what do they always say? Hey, I'm not really cool with this, but I have to do it. They're making me let you go today.
My guy was very robotic.
They're making you fire you today.
I remember I was the one trying to tell him. I was just like, we might want to cut this, but like,
we're not cutting
because
anything.
here's the deal. Like, it was sort of my fault, right? I said, I got into it with the wrong person who I thought was my friend or whatever, and then I got reported for it. But I didn't think I was going to get fired, right?
But just saying, like, some people are bad at their jobs, and you told them they were bad at their job.
Pretty much. And then they ended up laying off that department or that entire fucking squad, like maybe a few months after they got rid of me or whatever. But
I just want to paint the picture of that. You told this person that they were worthless in this position at the job.
And then the
company said they were worthless and fired them all, but you got fired for saying that they were worthless.
So, this person, right? I literally, like, we had a lot of Teams video chats, stuff like that. And that's one thing too, is I trust people, right? A little bit too, I give my trust out a little bit too easily as far as in the work setting.
Trusting to a fault.
Yeah. And basically, like, there's all sorts of things like with this person. I remember I sent them a gifts and stuff because they lived in Florida, and I remember they were into Lord of the Rings. I sent them a Lord of the Rings book, and like it was, but not just something like this is a person that I sent gifts to.
You had like a relationship.
You had a good relationship, you know what I mean?
Right?
Like, and they confided in me with a bunch of things in their personal life, things like that. And then one day we have a work discussion. And it was just her, like, just asking for all these different numbers and stuff like that. And then, I kind of just, because like I was telling you about the way I operate is like not with metrics or anything. Like, I don't like that stuff, right? So I got my feel. So I got a bit like, I was like, what are you gonna do with all this stuff? Well, like, what spreadsheet are you gonna put this on? So then the next worthless person is gonna come and look at the spreadsheet, and then like, what is this gonna do for us? At the end of the day, it's like all I do is I bring resumes to hiring managers. It's all I do, right? So, but basically, So she's, and then that she made a comment that, the recruiters, you guys are lazy or whatever, or like the recruiters are lazy. And then it became, I was like, oh, is that what you think? And then I literally was like, oh, is that what you think? And then I was like, you want to know what we think about you guys? And then I sort of just
this
kind of.
This is the fireable offense you're about to hear about.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay.
I basically was just like, and it got, in not in so many words, I basically said, we all think you guys are worthless. Like, you guys are just here collecting a check, not doing anything or whatever.
You told an employee that you thought wasn't pulling their weight to the company, that wasn't valuable to the company, exactly what you thought. Were you cussing them out?
And that was my thing too. My loyalty to the company, I was like upset about it, that these people were making money, not doing anything, and literally just because they weren't, and it was just this big mystery what these people did, right?
Yeah. You got a whole department
Yeah.
sucking off the teat.
Yeah.
You tell them that, and all of a sudden HR fires you.
No, and then we had
and then lays off the whole team.
We apologized and everything, and I thought everything was good. We were still communicating with each other on Teams, and I even showed this to them where she was still hurting my stuff, laughing at it, stuff like that. And it was like weeks and weeks down the line. The day before my birthday, all of a sudden I get the call from HR, and I'm like, what? And I truly, at first I was like, I don't know what you're talking about. Like, I'm not, they're like, you didn't have a, I was like, okay, well, I had one conversation with one person. And then, and then the next day it was like, I'm thinking, okay, well, I've never really been in trouble before. Right.
Yeah.
And, but there's more to it, because the company was hurting at the time. So when I think about it, right, it's like I was the highest paid recruiter there. And then I also had this giant, like, it was like almost 20K commission check coming to me, which they had just changed the rules. If we let you go, then you don't get whatever commissions are, which I didn't know about. Yeah. But I had signed something, right? And then, but yeah, so it was like that. And then the guy that brought me back, he was the one that was on the call. And I just remember trying to be a human, because like he was so robotic.
Yeah.
He's like, well, Ray, I just want to let you know right now, today's gonna be your last day of employment. And then I was like, what? I was just like, and I just remember telling them that, and I was like, Mike, I was like, bro, I was like, are you fucking kidding me? Or whatever, like, and then I even said, I was like, I took a 40K pay cut to come back here. Yeah. And I'm saying these things, and they're like, and I was like, it's my fucking birthday today. Yeah. And it was kind of funny, right? Just because then you could kind of see they were like, oh shit. Could
have waited until the next day. Yeah. But isn't that the culmination of the sense?
I couldn't believe it, dude.
Because you believe that I've been loyal to you. Okay, so I had a rough conversation with an employee, and I told him that they weren't worth anything and that the company should fire them all.
Which I walked back, though.
But you walked it back. Yeah. But you said, I'm loyal to the company. I only said those things because I'm loyal to the company.
That really was what it was, dude. It was like, I believed in the company, right? And I believe what we were doing, and basically it was my frustration coming out with what I saw them doing, which I thought was, and again, a couple months down the line, that entire team, they laid them all off. Yeah. Right. So
I'm telling you, man, like this is the important point coming out of this story. The loyalty you feel towards your company doesn't go both ways. That is a one-way street. You feel loyal to them. They've done these things. They've said these things to you to make you feel loyal. They told you that you're the future of the company. We need you. Got to have you come back. Take a pay cut, but you're the right person for our culture. We want to have you here. That loyalty only goes one way. Because then you forego starting your own business doing it. You forego leaving and going somewhere else. You're loyal to them. And then you take one misstep. That's a slight misstep. That's a gray area. That's kind of like, wait, what did you do to get fired? Like, how did they let you go? They're not loyal to you whatsoever at all.
Yeah.
Where's the grace at for the person that was giving the company grace all those years and being loyal? That's why I say loyalty is a one-way street for employees. But a lot of employees feel like the company's going to give me a pass because I've been loyal to them.
At the time, too, man.
They may want to.
I was their cheerleader, because it was like all the recruiters, right? All of them were trying to jump ship because they hated it, and I was the only one not interviewing, dude. Yeah. Because and like literally, and like what we were talking about earlier, and it just caught me off guard because I was like, I was trying to, like, I was telling my colleagues, like listen, it's bad here, right? But we'll get over this, right? Yeah. And there's always periods where it's bad or whatever, and basically just trying to be in the company guy, dude. Just being like, it's not always greener on the other side, or what, you know what I mean? Like, and trying to get people to stay, dude, because I wanted, especially the ones that were good. I wanted, it was like me being able to talk to you before, because I didn't even talk to you before you left or whatever. Yeah. But it was sort of just like that. I was like, I don't want good people to leave because I want this company to succeed, and I was out there just trying to, get them to stay, and then they fire me. Yeah. And I told them that too. I was like, you guys are firing the wrong person. Yeah. You got the wrong guy. I was like, I came back here to help this company succeed, and I was like, I'm literally ready to make that happen. A little bit of my passion comes out in one conversation with somebody, and you guys fucking fire me.
How long was it after you got fired that the person you got fired for saying that they were worthless to the business ended up getting let go by the company?
It was actually pretty. It was like 4 or 5 months ago or whatever.
4 or 5 months.
And
so a few months goes by, they fire that person, and you're like,
Yeah, because
you're gonna call me again? No.
well,
what's
yeah,
the
one of
deal?
my friends told me that that was still there, and I was like, oh, so can I come back now? Since
Yeah.
at the end of the day, I was right, you know. Well, who did the work? Like I said something to her. You guys actually messed her life up.
That's right.
You know what I mean?
If you were an executive in the company,
yeah.
then they would have been giving you a bonus.
Which I don't know if her life's messed up. I'm just saying, like, you know,
Yeah.
they fired her. You know what
Sure.
I mean? And at the end of the day, it's like, okay, that is literally, it's sort of validated kind of my opinion or whatever, but you know, I don't know.